Hello? Hello?
All right, then I'll see you in the stream then.
Hello?
All right,
All
then
right.
I'll
See ya.
see you in the stream then. All right,
All
then
right.
I'll
See ya.
see you in the stream then.
myself. How's that? That I got the sound back. We good? Hello. Okay, we're good. Thank you. Oh, okay. All right. We get back to everything I just talked about. I was just yapping anyway, so there wasn't anything important I really said. So we have this week. We have a guy. We had a crew from Cut Core come out, and they are cutting holes in our pipe. So that way we have access. We have a manway access on top, which will be a 24-inch core. There'll be a an 8-inch core off a little bit, which will be a ventilation for the pipe. And so basically, when a man needs to go inside the pipe, when they shut it down, they'll be able to stick a blower on this ventilation hole, which will pump fresh air in and the bad air out when someone needs to go in. And then there'll be a hole on the side of the pipe. So we'll put a hole over here on the side of the pipe at an angle, and the pipe will be coming off at an angle. So that way we can, that's where we're tying into it, where the actual sewer will actually run into from our lines. So you can see the contraption up here. We got their pump is right there running the drill rig. We got guys down there. We're prepping everything. And here you go. This is the machine getting started, cutting through the pipe. And this takes a long time to get done. They just sit there, and it's a very slow process. So this is probably 5-10 minutes later. They've only gone an inch maybe into the pipe, but you can see he's up to full speed and just pulling on it. So this little lever right here that's on the side of it, the 4-way star, that's like you're torquing down. So it's got a gear on it and a gear on the stand that's allowing him to apply pressure to that drill bit or the core bit. There's another 10 minutes later. You can see he's gone down a little bit more. We'll see in a minute how thick this pipe is. Okay, there we go. So they have come through to the point where they've cut almost all the way through where they think on how thick it is. And what they're going to do is they're actually going to put a wire. You can see it right here. They have a hole that goes all the way through the drill, and they had previously put in a dowel into the concrete with a little loop, so that way they can hook this wire around it as they cut through it. So what this is going to do is it's going to prevent that core from falling inside the pipe, because we can't go into the pipe at this time. So this way their machine will catch that core, pull it up, and they'll be able to drag it out of the way. So this is them hooking that wire. You can see they're hooking it up to that little looped bit that they've got into the pipe. So there's the core right there. You can see how thick this pipe is. This is 108 inch, roughly about 8 to 10 inches thickness. The pipes are, I think they said they're 16 feet long. So these things are huge. These are 60,000 pounds or better sticks of pipe that were installed back in the late 50s, early 60s. So there's an example of how thick it was. Let's see. There's the little pinhole that they had put in there that's threaded. So they have a little thread that goes in there with a metal loop. And they take that out because basically they don't want to throw it away. So what we did here is we've got a metal steel manhole temporary lid we threw over the hole they put in, and they're gonna take that big bit off. They're putting in a smaller bit right now for the 8-inch core for the ventilation shaft. More photos of us trying to dewater, and this section that they've got here where we're dug down to, we actually still have to go like another 2 feet deeper than that, and water has been a major issue on this project. So here we are back to coring a hole. This hole went a lot faster because it's a smaller diameter. There's more torque on the bit, so you can cut through it a little bit faster. You see how deep that guy is buried in. See him using that bar over there to apply pressure to it. He's trying to feel when it goes through. There we go. You can get to the point where he cuts through it. There it is. He's going to pull it out. He retains that core is inside that bit, and they're going to have to work that piece of concrete out of their bit. So here he's just disconnecting all the pressure and the water and everything. There it is up close. And that's that set of pictures. Let's go to the next folder. So this next folder is the next day. So that was day one of them being out. They didn't have enough time to cut the other hole because the last hole coming in the side of the pipe is at an angle, which you'll see here. So then he's set up. He's just getting started putting this thing in. And you can see the water being sprayed in from the side, and it's just a slow process of trying to cut a hole in the side of this pipe. And this one took a long time to get done. This is like 10, 20 minutes later. So at this point, I think he winds up stopping at one point about halfway through. They pull out and they put this extension on so they can keep going deeper. And also they brought out a electric jackhammer to break out and make some more space, because if they kept going with this bit here, what's going to happen is that bit would actually hit the top of the concrete, because they're at that angle, and the chunk of concrete is going to be longer than their bit is, so they have to come in and knock out some of this concrete to make room for their core. So this is the kind of stuff you expect when we're doing this kind of work. This is actually a larger job, and I just drop that inside. That will have to be retrieved later. So once we get ventilation and everything inside the pipe, we're going to have to go inside, retrieve all the extra concrete that fell inside, and then it's just a matter of, clean up. And we have to mortar the inside, so we have a spec plug mortar that we use on the inside to seal it. It's waterproof. It's a high pressure mortar that we use. So here, what we have here is a pulley system and a cable that runs all the way around this 108-inch pipe. And what this is an effort to help support the pipe. So that way it's not holding its own weight up on that tongue and groove. You can see right here there's a groove there for where the two pipes join together, the tongue and groove, where they come in together. So we don't want that tongue and groove holding up the entire weight of that pipe. So we throw a strap around it, and we have some pulleys that tighten that strap up to help relieve the weight off of the tongue and groove. We also have another one that we put in on the other side as well, because we're digging all the way underneath and there's no rock or anything to help support that pipe and hold it in the air. So here they continue moving on. You can see that the water is actually coming up in this hole. Now what we've come to find out is that the groundwater that we're dealing with is affected by the ocean tides. So one of the problems we're having is fighting this water. We're adding more pumps. They actually brought out another generator, because the generator we initially had was running 5 pumps, some of them up to 6 horsepower pumps, which is pretty hefty. And we just weren't catching the water. So they brought in a second generator. We brought in a couple more pumps, some brand new pumps, and put them directly into the water. Instead of into one of those sleeves where the water coming in is slowed down by the little slots that we put into it. So we're just drawing water directly from the hole itself. We dig a hole that's real deep, probably about 5 feet deeper than the working area. You lay down some 3/4 inch crushed rock, stone, whatever you want to call it, and we put the pump directly on it so we're not sucking mud and everything up into the pump and ruining the pumps. And that seemed to have caught us up. I don't think I've uploaded my photos today, or from Friday. Let's see here. I'm going to have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do that over here off screen. Once I get those photos uploaded, I will bring those up, because we did sandblasting as well, prepping for concrete. The city requires that we have a clean surface for the freshly poured concrete to adhere to the existing pipe concrete. So here, this is us adding in another pump. Continuing on the drill, or the core. See, he's getting almost all the way in there. This bit's going to get in there eventually. So this is a baffled tank. Now what these baffled tanks do is the water will actually flow into one chamber. It allows heavy sediment to settle to the bottom and separate any heavy dirt or anything like that that's in the water to be allowed not to go into wherever we're pumping it. It separates everything. All right, Trent's got a question. You remember the picture that I sent you about the Cat 395 long reach with a wide undercarriage? Could that be replaced with a short undercarriage? Well, yes, but you wouldn't do that. That machine, once it's configured from the manufacturer, once it's built, they're not going to change it. I mean, they might change the boom and they might change the stick out on it if someone else buys it and wants to use it for a different purpose. So getting back to this chambered things, this is a small one. So this is like 150 gallon tank. So you fill up one chamber, it spills over into the next chamber, and then when that chamber fills up, the 2 holes at the top are the outflows. So what this is allowing is all the heavy sediment and stuff to fall out of the water, so it doesn't pump to wherever you're trying to pump clean water to. Wait, I want to go back. It actually shows it get pumping out or flowing out once it fills up. If anybody's got any questions that's watching this stream, feel free to throw the question in the comments, and I will do my best to answer your questions. That's what I'm here for, is to help you guys out with any questions you have in construction. I'll stop what I'm talking about and we'll answer the question unless I feel this is more important. So this dirty water will eventually clean itself up when people stop shoveling around and dirtying up the water in the bottom of the hole. So this is what it's a chambered thing, and now they have other tanks that are way bigger than this, are like 10,000 gallons. It's just a huge tank that will have multiple chambers in it, and it'll do exactly what this one's doing. It's just really big and it just does the same stuff. Okay, so back over to the pipe and the cut. You can see they've cut through. So one of the things that we did notice on these cores, you can see inside the pipe here, but this edge of the concrete, it has been eroded. So here's a little piece of rebar that's sticking up. That rebar at one time was in the concrete, not on the edge of the concrete. So over the last 70 years of this pipe flowing sewage through it, the sewage has eaten the concrete on the inside of the pipe, and that's why they made these pipes so thick, is for longevity. So this little bit of rebar, even that piece that we pulled off the top, they figured over the last 60, 70 years, this thing has eaten, probably the sewer has eaten maybe 1 inch of the concrete. You can see right here, that's rebar that's in the pipe. There's a line there. There's a couple others. There was another row coming through. You see a piece there, and you can see the other bars here, and you can see how thin they are. Those are ones that have been eaten on the inside. And then here's the long reach. Top of the hole, man on top guiding me in. Why do we have more? Am I going back through these again? I am. Alright, so that's those pictures. Let me see if the new pictures have finished downloading. Okay, I've got 2 new sets here. Here we go. I haven't flipped these around. So here's that same baffle tank that is now flowing the water that's clean and clear because nobody's down there muddying up the water. So this is what it would normally look like, water being pumped out of a dewatering well. So bear with me while I flip these over. So here we have the hole is getting to the point where it's workable now, and the water is flowing out. We have an existing pump here that is still pumping water. It's buried in rock, so the water is flowing through the rock to that pump. And so it's just we're getting to the point where people can get down in there and not be in water and being able to put the rebar in. So here we are washing the pipe. Squirrel. Yeah, I get bored at work sometimes. Watching a hole, sitting up on the top of the trench, just watching the guys work can be very boring on projects like this. There would be moments where I gotta jump on the machine. I gotta take stuff in and out. Sean, hello, welcome into the stream. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to smash the like button while you're there. So yeah, and then you'll get times where you get super busy. You're in and out of the hole, and I've got some video of that somewhere. I actually took my... Wait, why is it over here? These are the sandblast guys. So we put down, let's replay that, see what we got going on. So that's their trailer compressor. That's a sandblaster, their special sandblasting media that they're going to clean the pipe with. So he's prepping. They're going to fire up the air compressor and start blasting the top of this concrete and get going. Well, foreman on the phone. There's a surprise. There we are. So you can see he's made a pass over the top of it, and this went pretty fast. They sandblasted the whole section where the concrete's going to be going really quick. It took them, after we got set up and they actually started work, it took them probably less than an hour to an hour to actually sandblast the whole section of pipe all the way across the top and around the bottom of it. I mean, you can see how fast it's going. But it is a very dusty job. So here's a shot of the media that they're using. Non-silica based blasting material. There we go. I can read it. Not a very good shot, but that's what they're using. So here he is on the east. No, this is the west side of the pipe. So he's blasting the left side of the pipe. I missed capturing him doing the east side. So this is the side that's got the hole in the side of it, I think. No, this is the east side. So this is the side that's not drilled on yet. So this is the east side of the pipe. But you see, they've gone through this, and he's just moving through it really quickly. You can kind of see the media flying out of the end of the hose. Now, these scratch marks and stuff you see that are on the pipe, that's not from me. That was from whoever installed it. There's some scratches on the top of it that are off of the angle because we hand shoveled everything off the top of this pipe. So here's what it looks like after. You can definitely see the difference between the cleaned area and the non-cleaned area. So we're just going to pick up their gear, get them out of the hole. Supporting our pipe. Oh, that is something else. Alright, so anyways, that's what I've got for that. Now I've got one more set of pictures, a different subject, and this is where that's where we're at on this project. We've got the pipe cleaned, we've dug down to depth, we've gotten the water under control, and Monday morning we've got the concrete guys coming in. They're going to put rebar in around the pipe. Tuesday they're going to put up all the wooden structure for the forms. They'll get all that put in on Tuesday. Then Wednesday we're hoping to start pouring concrete. So that's our timeline that we're going with. And then we have to go inside, mortar everything up, get everything, all cleaned up, and then stack the manhole. Once the manhole gets stacked and mortared and all that's done, then we're going to begin backfill and the extraction of the shield. And that's going to be a tough one because that shield has been beat into the ground, and that's just, it's going to be a mother to get that out. Let me see. So I didn't really show this part of it, but I think we had company come out. These are wells that we put in on the outside of the shield prior to starting the project, and they didn't do as well as we had hoped for dewatering the groundwater. Let me see, where are those pictures? because I've got a set of pictures here that will show you. It's about the long reach. So, all right, here we go. There's the moon. Another one of the advantages of working in construction, you get to touch grass, see cool things, moon, airplane flying by or whatever. So here is what we're going to talk about today. On the long reach. Now this is from standing on the back of the bucket, looking up the stick towards the top. Now what we've got here is this boom has been bent. If you look right along the edge of this, you can see that it has a slight bend in it. So we believe that this boom had an impact, or the bucket someone had hit something with a bucket while they were at full swing, and it actually bent this stick. Another little close-up of it. You can kind of see it a little bit better. And this is not a trick of the eyes. I'm not trying to do this to make it look like it's bent. It's actually bent. So right here at the very beginning of it, it tapers out because it gets smaller and smaller as it gets out to the end of the bucket, and then it comes out, and then it goes in a straight line, and up at the top it gets thicker. But you can see, it's kind of hard to see in these photos, but it does have a slight bend from about here to about here in that section. And then this is a shot of the right side of the boom. You can see the steel here has wrinkles in it. And those wrinkles are from being compressed. So you take the flat piece of metal, and if you've ever stepped on it and crushed a can, and that can wrinkles, that's exactly what's going on here. That boom was bent, and that flat steel wrinkled. But the other side does not have wrinkles. None of the metal on any machine should have wrinkles in it. If it has wrinkles, that means somebody did something to the machine that was really bad. Now this is the other side of it. You can see this side is smooth because this side was being stretched because the way it was being bent. So no wrinkles on this side. And that's the thing about these long reaches, is because the boom and stick are so long, you're dealing with a lot of lateral forces that can be applied up at the top. And these things it's like taking a pencil, you bend the pencil, and it'll eventually snap. And it's not that difficult if you hold it closer to the center with a short one and a much thicker one like our 500 that we have. It's got a big hefty boom on it, and that's not going to bend and break with forces. So what we got here, this is our Cabelco broken mirror, but you can see how big this boom is thickness wise versus our versus that long reach. So here's another shot of that same machine, but you can see how thick this is compared to that long reach. Actually, you can't see that. There it is. So this is another morning. This is on a different project. So I'm going to open the floor to you guys. If you guys got any questions, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. So if you want to just chit chat, throw some comments in, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you guys have. We got 5 of you watching. Somebody's got to have a question. From my analytics that YouTube tells me, you guys are either watching on your TV and don't have the ability to talk to me. All you do is sit and listen, which is fine. I mean, any kind of interaction is better than none at all. But so I have pinned at the top, I have a link to my Discord. You can download it on your phone or on a computer, and you can actually talk to me through that, or you can go through Facebook. I have a Facebook page for the Lever Monkey, and some guys do talk to me through that. I also have Instagram. All these are linked in the description below. So you can go through the description and you can send me questions that way, or you can send me questions through other means. I'm not giving out my personal phone, so you guys can't get a hold of me in that way. So I'll open up my Facebook question messenger if you guys want to hit me up there, if you don't have the ability to do it any other way. Yeah, Tran, go ahead. Just ask the question, bud. I'll throw up some random pictures as we go along while we wait on the question. Is it possible to fix the wrinkles on the 220? Yes, it is possible, but it is a very expensive process, and they have to remove the stick off the machine. They have to take it to a shop. They will do a couple of things. They have to cut out that section of wrinkled steel. They have to put the stick into a gigantic vise and press, where they will actually take it and bend it in the other direction in an attempt to straighten it out. If they can get that portion straight, they cut out that wrinkled steel, and then they weld in new plate steel that will hold it in place and help it out. But that's the only way that I know of to fix something like that. The other option is take it off, throw it away, and put a new one on. Putting in big pipe. It's what we do. All right, guys. I don't have much more than that. It's kind of a short morning. I've got to go to the store and do some other things. Unless you guys got some questions, I don't have much else for you for today. I think I hammered you with a lot of information pretty quickly today. Try to keep it a little bit shorter. So unless you guys send me questions throughout the week, I'm not going to have a whole lot to talk about. I've pretty much got everything caught up. I'm going to continue to play Construction Simulator once or twice during the weekdays after work if I have time. I mean, I'm not very good at it. It's kind of just me sitting around playing the game and you guys watching and maybe asking some questions. I've had a couple guys come in and say, boy, it's super unrealistic. And yeah, it's not super realistic, but at least I can talk about some of the things in the game. Lucy Girl, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget, guys, smash that thumbs up button for me if you would. If you guys are liking during the week, if you like the live streaming of the Construction Simulator, let me know, because then I'll keep doing it. I'm going to do it for a month or so till I get either tired of it and go on to a different game or something. But it gives me a way to create some more content due to the problems we're having with our company not wanting me to create the normal content that I make, the training videos and whatnot, because it's got to go through the company before I can publish it. So, all right, guys, I will get going. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll, as always, keep your butt level and your ditch straight. As usually, we got to figure out how to turn this thing off. There it is.